In the frozen wastes of Greenland, an entire Norse colony vanished without a single word, leaving behind only silent ruins. For over 400 years, these settlers had mastered survival in one of Earth's most unforgiving landscapes. Yet by the 15th century, every man, woman, and child was gone, with no records of their departure. This disappearance remains one of the most perplexing puzzles in all of human history. What could have caused such a complete and mysterious vanishing act? It is like a real-life detective story where the clues are centuries old and the suspects are unknown. Today, we are diving deep into the evidence to uncover 5 shocking theories that change everything. From dramatic climate shifts that froze their world to potential conflicts with native populations. Could they have simply moved on and integrated elsewhere, or did they meet a darker fate? We will examine archaeological finds, historical documents, and alternative explanations. Get ready to have your mind blown as we explore what really happened to the Greenland Vikings. Imagine a thriving Norse community nestled within Greenland's frozen fjords for more than 400 years, suddenly vanishing without any clear explanation. These settlers courageously built farms, raised livestock, and maintained trade across the North Atlantic. Yet by the 15th century, every man, woman, and child had disappeared, leaving behind only empty longhouses and silent church ruins. What could have prompted such a complete and mysterious exodus from their established homes? Let us begin by examining the official narrative that often highlights environmental pressures. The Little Ice Age gradually transformed Greenland into an even colder and more hostile environment. Shorter growing seasons and expanding glaciers would have threatened their agricultural practices and survival. However, this theory alone fails to explain why archaeologists have found no mass graves or widespread evidence of starvation. Excavations reveal well-preserved artifacts and household items, suggesting daily life continued relatively normally until the very end. So if climate change was the primary villain, why did these Vikings not leave clearer signs of a desperate struggle or attempted migration? Another layer to this mystery involves their economic connections with Europe slowly disintegrating over time. Trade with Norway and Iceland supplied essential goods like iron, timber, and prestige items that reinforced their identity. When these vital shipping routes became more hazardous or less frequent, the settlers lost access to resources they could not produce locally. Picture relying on a modern global supply chain for your most crucial needs, only to have it collapse without warning. That is precisely what the Greenland Vikings experienced as their economic lifelines to Europe frayed. Still, would economic isolation alone cause an entire population to vanish without leaving any written records or clear migration paths? Now, consider the possibility of interactions with the indigenous Thule people, who were ancestors of the modern Inuit. Evidence indicates that Norse and Thule cultures coexisted in Greenland for some time, sharing the vast landscape. However, tensions might have escalated into violence over competition for resources like hunting grounds and walrus ivory. Some archaeological sites hint at possible skirmishes, though no large-scale battlefields have been discovered to confirm outright war. Could it be that the Norse were gradually pushed out, or chose to assimilate through intermarriage and cultural exchange? This idea suggests a quieter, more complex disappearance than a single dramatic event. Yet if integration occurred so completely, why do modern genetic studies show minimal Norse markers in Inuit populations today? Let us delve into a darker notion that disease or famine swiftly decimated the entire colony. While no written plague records exist from Greenland, climatic shifts could have led to repeated crop failures and malnutrition. Envision a community already living on the edge, facing one brutally harsh winter after another, without enough stored food. However, scientific analysis of skeletal remains does not show widespread signs of chronic malnutrition or epidemic diseases. So this theory, while hauntingly plausible, still lacks the definitive evidence that would make it undeniable. Now explore the fascinating idea that these Vikings simply abandoned Greenland voluntarily for a better life elsewhere. Some historians propose they sailed westward to North America, attempting to join other Norse expeditions or indigenous tribes. Recent discoveries of Norse artifacts along Canadian coasts certainly fuel this theory, suggesting their exploration continued. But if they successfully relocated to new lands, why did they not maintain contact with Europe or leave behind written accounts of their journey? It is as if they chose to erase themselves from history entirely, which feels both thrilling and deeply unnerving. Consider also a spiritual or cultural crisis that may have influenced their decision to leave. The Greenland colony maintained strong Christian beliefs, building churches and importing religious artifacts from Europe. What if religious isolation or doctrinal conflicts made them feel abandoned by their faith? Imagine the profound psychological impact of believing your prayers go unheard in an increasingly frozen world. This angle introduces a deeply human element to the mystery, beyond mere survival. Furthermore, let us examine the role of leadership and social structure in their eventual disappearance. Were there internal divisions or a failure of governance that weakened their resilience? Community cohesion would have been vital for surviving Greenland's extreme conditions. A breakdown in social order could have led to fragmentation, with groups scattering in different directions. Without strong leaders to organize a coordinated response to crises, the colony might have dissolved gradually. How tragic to think that internal strife contributed to their silent end. Lastly, reflect on a combination of factors creating a perfect storm that forced their departure. Climate change, economic isolation, social pressures, and external threats might have converged, making Greenland uninhabitable. Each challenge alone was perhaps manageable, but together they became overwhelming. Think of it as a domino effect where one problem triggers the next, until collective collapse becomes inevitable. This multifaceted explanation acknowledges the profound complexity of human societies facing multiple crises. So after exploring these compelling theories, which one feels most convincing to you? The truth likely blends elements from several, leaving us with a haunting historical enigma that continues to captivate adventurers and scholars alike. So here we are, left with the haunting paradox of a people who mastered the Arctic, yet vanished without a trace. Their story is a stark reminder that even the most resilient societies can face inexplicable collapses. Their disappearance challenges our understanding of human endurance and the fragility of civilization. Today, as we face our own climate challenges and societal shifts, their disappearance offers a profound lesson in resilience and adaptation. It makes you wonder how our own communities would fare under similar extreme pressures. This ancient mystery echoes in today's debates about climate migration and cultural preservation. I'm curious to hear your personal theories about what truly happened to the Greenland Vikings. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below so we can explore this enigma together. If you found this exploration fascinating, give it a like and subscribe for more historical mysteries from Unspoken History. So as we ponder their silent legacy, one question remains. What ultimate truth lies buried beneath Greenland's ice, waiting to be uncovered?